great pleasure to be here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Dr. Navid, for hosting. So what I'm going to talk to you about is UltraSense Systems and basically what we're going to be doing at the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So to start out with, I wanted to give everyone just a perspective in terms of what UltraSense System is doing. Our focus has been accentuated on building what we call an intelligent ultrasound platform, which basically feeds different industries. We own the full stack, so we've started out from MEMS, special ASIC, to run our ultrasound transducers, all the way up to the module level. So from a business side of it, from the focus side of it, we are basically driving the full stack. We have the full ownership. Makes it much easier from the economic side of it to succeed. But most importantly, the barriers to overcome are extensively high. Doing MEMS and then on top of that special ASIC, system level knowledge, they all add up beyond just a few patents. But having said that, our focus started out with basically user interface in automotive. Why automotive? In the high-end cars, OEMs needed something very different, more of removing mechanical interfaces for the high-end cars, something that was basically material agnostic, and that's what we came out with our basically ultrasound platform. Will solve one of the most complex sensing issues. We're now basically input material agnostic. We can go on any surfaces from wood, metal, glass, plastic, it really doesn't matter. But the whole notion of having a futuristic feel, more modernized cabin, has simply stemmed from the technology that we have introduced. And on top of that, basically, we've come up with a new methodology. We call it Shy-Tech. I'll talk about that a little bit more. That basically is driving the high-end OEMs today. Now, today, one of the other industries markets that we are servicing too is basically AR glasses. As some of you may have heard, it's basically the next platform for compute. It is just amazing how things have picked up in terms of AR glasses in the course of last 12 months. This whole notion of being able to do everything on the AR glasses as an AI device is basically not a dream. I think it's a reality that's going to hit out soon. And how you basically use it comes from the user interface. And there is a bottleneck here. I'll talk about that too, that we are addressing. And basically our engagements in terms of how the deployment and scaling of AR glasses are taking place. And then last but not least, we are also, the other market that we are servicing is also associated with robotics. We are calling it EchoMine. So with basically our 3D ultrasound, we are focused on basically bringing out better sensing for the near field. So that is a very newly technology that it is coming out. We are very excited about it. And I'll be talking about that briefly as well. It works. Thank you. As I was mentioning, the barriers for entry in terms of what we do is basically very high. Ultrasound platform is not something that you can go and read a few patents and come and do it. It needs a special, extensive expertise in building transducers on the MEMS, the ASIC associated with that, the analog circuitry that goes to basically drive the transducers is very specialized, is niche in terms of finding talents, in terms of figuring out the best path to do it. And then on top of that, the know-how on the system level, because that's basically what we are trying to do, own the whole system, is again another expertise that we have from the company side that really helps to increase the barriers for what we are doing today. The most important part of our business today is that, as I alluded earlier, we've started out with automotive. We're really proud that in a very short period of time, this is less than basically 24 months of commercialization. We have over 3 million units out there. Getting into automotive customers is not an easy task. They are very demanding, basically high level requirements for reliability. Most of our products are ACQ 100 qualified. And again, not an easy, basically, market to go after with, especially as a newcomer to the automotive industry. And certainly working with the biggest OEMs in the field has also been challenging too. But again, this sets the tone for all the other products that we are rolling out from our ultrasound intelligent platform. Now, to be a little bit more specific about our focus in the automotive area, with the evolvement of EVs and where the automotive industry is going, as I was alluding earlier, the need for having better cabins, more futuristic, more modern is something that everybody is driving it. So what we've done with our technology is that we've combined it with new materials, wood veneers, basically carbon fiber, natural wood, to bring a little bit more of not only personalization into the cabin, but we've combined it with our solid state user interface technology to bring out a technology on materials to be used when you need it. So just imagine you're walking into the car, you don't see any basically buttons, everything is seamless. When you turn on the car, what you need simply pops up. So that's really what the focus is. That's what the trend is for high-end cars. We're actually going to see much more of that rolling out over the course of next couple of years. The other market that I also wanted to talk about a little bit is the AR glasses. A lot of activities there. Just about everybody is trying to get on that bandwagon. AR glasses, you could think of it as really the next AI device that enables you to do anything that you want to do without having to take your smartphone out. But one of the biggest issues that people are facing as they are trying to scale up this technology is, again, user interface. Not very intuitive. I don't know how many of you guys have basically owned Meta brand Ray-Bans. The user interface is very primitive from this perspective that there is only one 2D pad area on the glasses that can be used as a user interface. And if you can imagine, you have camera, you have media, now you have display kicking in. How can one intuitively run a 2D trackpad for all these functions? So where we come to play is we have a special chip that manages all the user interface and actually works with the Qualcomm XR platform in terms of what has to be delivered. So we are really excited about the prospect of this. Again, the whole methodology in terms of how we are doing it versus what is being done today has seen extensive traction. And again, we are very excited about what's going to come out and how, as a user interface company, we can help to scale up the AR glasses in a very short future. The other area of focus for us, kind of new, we've embarked on that just recently. Great, basically, traction on what we are doing from an automation perspective in factories as well. Where we focus on is basically near field with our technology. As you may know, for example, your cars have ultrasound, basically sensors to detect the range and making sure you don't hit walls and other cars in front of you. So we've taken a version of that and we are using it as beamforming in air, very different than what has been done. And we are trying to use that to basically bring what we call a 180-degree field of view, which the LiDARs don't deliver. So we are kind of complementary, another basically modality that's going to be used for high-end robotics, drones for that matter. And again, as I mentioned, what is really important to basically note here is that our focus is mostly not only building the chip, but building it at a system level because we are going through the full stack. So the system needs is being taken down all the way to the chip level so that we can basically hit everything that it is needed at a system level perspective. And again, just to give you a perspective, our very first device is very simple, a MEM device, basically complemented by the ASIC driver for it. It's actually under valuation for few customers. We want to make sure that we address the corner cases before we fully go out with the product and basically work at the system level implementation of it. So having said all this, what I'm looking at here is basically over $50 billion of TAM at minimum for our ultrasound, basically intelligent platform. The team is very ambitious. We have many other things in our pocket as well. But for the short term, the focus is accentuated on simply scaling up the automotive with the extensive tractions that we are seeing for our ShyTech specialty. Not to mention AR glasses, that by itself is basically a huge business. And then on top of that, we are kicking in our basically EchoMine, our robotic solution as well in the era of AI and robotics today. Now, wanted to talk about a little bit specifically about what we are doing in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So thanks to Dr. Naveed, we are basically moving forward in terms of setting a design center. And the design center charter is to basically help and support our architectural teams in US. That's the primary purpose of the design center. We've already started on that, the hiring, training of the people. And we are very hopeful that in the near future, we would be actually where we want to strive is to bring IPs and patents out of this design center. So that's what the goal that we are trying to strive today. And really, building the capability here, it's really important for us. As I think everybody has talked about that already. The vision, 2030 vision, coupled with really the motivation to do much better, to do things much faster. I think everybody has talked about that. I'm not going to touch about that, but I think there is a need for having a neutral entity to lead, and I think the kingdom can easily do that to build a better global semiconductor ecosystem as we move forward. Just as simple as that. And then in terms of our aspirations, we also are looking at setting up a manufacturing hub in Riyadh. As I was mentioning, our focus is accentuated on the whole stack. We want to own the whole system today, and our systems basically come from customized IC. That's really how we are running our business. So having that capability today here on this side of the world is really critical for us. It's actually a huge, basically part of our formulation for success. And again, as I said, the most important aspect of it is the fact that there is a vision to drive, there is capital, and most importantly, the kingdom is really neutral in the context of all the geopolitical issues that we are seeing, which may get even worse than what we've seen so far, is really, we think, the best path forward today. And at the end, just to close on the discussions, I also wanted to point out, a lot of people ask me why automotive. Automotive is actually a very long product cycle type of industry. As I mentioned, the barriers to get in are high. Very demanding customers. You have to pass ACQ 100. The reliability aspect of it is extensive. It takes time, especially for a startup. But now that we have that in our pocket, certainly makes it much easier to move forward in all the other markets that we are planning to service. but at the same time, the stability in the automotive market and not having to worry about the consumer electronics fluctuation season to season, it brings a more stable ecosystem to the kingdom today. And I guess that's basically it from my side. Thank you very much for having me here.